Good stuff. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me again for another Chen Style Tai Chi class. We're looking at Lao Jia Yi Lu, and as soon as I start recording, I realize that my clothes aren't on properly. One leg tucked, never mind. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight, and we're going to tuck back that thumb. So if this is your very first Tai Chi class, one hand in fist, one hand straight, and we tuck back the thumb. I'm not mirroring, so it's your right hand in fist. Now, the tucking of the thumb indicates a little man bowing. That's a sign of respect. So please try to remember always to tuck your thumb in the salute. Don't leave it sticking open, because that is like saying, I'm good. So it's disrespectful. But if your thumb doesn't tuck, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. We bring the fist and the hands together in front of the heart, and we bring our feet together. That's the most respectful way to salute. And then we press the hands forwards. So this creates a circle showing universal oneness or friendship, international cooperation, all that kind of thing. And this is the weapon being sheathed, so it's a sign of non-aggression. There is so much stuff indicated in a simple salute. The fist also represents the 5 landlocked lakes of the world, and the 4 is, can't remember which is the oceans, which is the lakes, and I should know. I think it's oceans, lakes, right? 5 oceans, 4 lakes, or the other way around. Anyway, when we bring the hands together, that's showing all the bodies of water in the world, again showing unity. I used to know that, but see, when you go to teach something, sometimes it pops out of your head. So there you go. Anyway, the salute is steeped in meaning. It's a very respectful thing to do. Please avoid saluting with an open stance that shows disrespect or just ignorance or forgetfulness. That's like standing at ease. So when we bring our feet together, it is a formal salute. And we do it at the beginning and at the end of class. If you want, you can add a little bit of Chinese to your repertoire. You can say, Lao Shi Hao. I'll say that again and show you the mouth. It's Lao Shi Hao, which means teacher hello. Lao Shi Hao. So it's greeting for your teacher, and the teacher would then reply, Xue Sang Hao, which means students hello, or a greeting. So you can say it at the beginning and at the end of class. Not necessary, but if you're ever in a class with a Chinese master or teacher, it's a very respectful way to say hello. Most of us don't bother with it because so many people speak different languages and not Chinese. So there you go. A little bit of culture for you as well. Let's begin a little warm up, please. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Now, the gem is in your hand, the jewel is in your hand. So if you're thinking after the end of this class, flip, that's really difficult, all that stuff, I'll never remember it. How do I practice Tai Chi on my own? Well, here is one brilliant wee exercise. We want to loosen and relax the whole area within the hips. We call it the dandian. The hips, or the cradle for the dandian, we call the lao gong. No, we don't. Sorry. We call it the kwa. The kwa. So the kwa is like an egg cup. And we want to think of everything inside the hips, this whole ball, if you like, of the lower body, as our lower energy center, we call the dandian. In order to move in Tai Chi, it must come from here. It must come from the dandian. So if you're just moving your arms and your legs, you're not doing Tai Chi. But if you're pivoting from your center point, quite invisibly, and yet your arms and legs move, you are doing Tai Chi. So most important is that we get this whole area nice and loose and relaxed, the lower back, the hips, everything nice and free, so that we can move easily and we can accomplish Tai Chi. So let's feel into the 4 corners of the hips. Remember, think of it like a ball rolling around inside an egg cup. So we're not pushing to the outside of the egg cup. We're not pushing to the outside of the hips. We're rolling around inside. And because your hips aren't exactly round, they're more sort of curved in a square shape, we're feeling for the connection, we're feeling for the point where we're engaging with the four inner corners of the hips. And this takes a bit of practice. Think of it a bit like you're rolling a ball bearing around inside a cavity. And you'll feel you get into a rhythm and it's very relaxing. So you can do this endlessly. But start every day, try and do 30 repetitions, 30 rounded squares, if you like. So we're feeding into the four corners, but of course the body will naturally curve the experience. Don't try and get angular corners. Just connecting with each corner in turn, front left, front right, or vice versa, back left, back right, back left, going round in a little square. The knees want to be off the lock, but we don't have to bend the knees particularly with this one. And we want to keep the top of the head nice and light so that we have a lovely open and relaxed spine. So as I say, try and do 30 of these in each direction. Let's change direction now. But that's your opening practice. As you progress, you can do more and more. So you could listen to the radio if you like, or even have the television on and stand and do this and just go through an entire program. Make sure you do the same amount on both sides. Breathe, feel your way. Notice how your body responds through the movement. Are there aches and pains? Are there places where there is tension or resistance? Take note of that. And as you breathe, as you move, let go through it. This is the exercise that Grandmaster Chen says has developed his practice in recent years. So imagine that a Grandmaster is finding this exercise, the thing that propels his practice forwards. So we can learn from that and we can do it as well, and we can get some furthering development. He encourages us to work towards 500 squares in each direction at a time. But don't start with that because that's a lot. But it takes about 25 minutes to do. So it's very doable. As you can feel, this is gentler than going for a walk. But of course, you have to build up the strength. You have to build up the capacity. So don't start at 500, start at 30. And maybe each day or each week, try a little bit more and a little bit more. The key to the movement is a feeling of looseness and fluidity. So if you feel your body starting to tense as you practice or tighten, that would indicate that actually you've done too much. Now, sometimes I get a little message coming across that my internet connection isn't great today. So apologies if the live feed is a little bit bitty. Hopefully the recording will be nice and clean for you. Good, so there you go. There is an absolute beginner's exercise that you can take all the way through your training and continue to develop with it. All it is, keeping good posture, keeping the top of the head light and drawn up, and relaxing into the four corners of the hips. Make sure you do both sides equally. Good, let's come back into the center. Let's take a moment and just feel into the body and breathe. Now, you may sometimes experience the sensation that the movement is continuing to happen, even though you are standing still. this is perfectly good that you experience this, because this is a sign that your energy is circulating, is continuing the movement. But if you don't feel it, don't worry, it's still happening. Good. Now we move on to our next exercise. I call the Chinese drum. We're going to release the belly, the hips and the knees, and we're going to keep that sort of high seated position as we turn in our center. Again, you want to think of the egg swiveling inside the egg cup. So we're not turning the hips like this. The egg cup stays pretty much steady. It's okay if there's some movement in the hips, but we want the majority to be inside the hips. So this whole area is swiveling inside the hips, nice and loose and relaxed. Breathe into it. Like, it may look like I'm swinging my arms around, but I'm not. I'm not actually moving my arms, but they are moving because the center moves. That sends the force up the spine, along the arms and into the hands. So this is a real example of, you don't move your hands and feet, you move your center. We can direct the hands. So if I wanted to, I could have the hands coming up to the sides, but I'm not carrying them. I'm just turning my center and directing the force where I want it to go. So that, again, is a fundamental of Tai Chi. We don't carry the arms and legs or the body. We simply keep good structure, moving from center, and guide the energy into the physical movement. Good, let's widen the stance. And we go a little bit deeper, sit back. So we're not putting the knees past the toes. And we continue. And again, it's just the lower back. It's just that little ball in the egg cup. But notice in the larger stance, the hips don't move at all. The legs don't move, simply the body. Don't forget to breathe. And this is a more martial, the deeper, wider stance is more martial. It gets you strong. But the higher stance is enough for health. Good, let's walk the feet in again. Continue. Good, and those who have just done a weekend of training in Donegal, you're probably feeling your legs about now, like I am. Good, let's release and let the movement run out of steam. Beautiful, well done. All right, the last exercise. Now, Jill in Donegal was actually using this exercise first. I think they've changed it. It used to be doing the hips first. She's now doing the head first. Honestly, I don't think it matters which direction you do, which way you do it. As long as you do it, that's fine. So the third exercise for me, first for her, is the same as the first exercise, but it's more systemic. So instead of just turning your center, we're going to allow the head to go with. So you can think of the spiral flowing up the spine and into the head and neck, but also down through the legs and into the feet and into the floor. So as you see here, it's kind of like stirring. As your hips go to the right, your head goes to the left. As your hips go back, your head goes forwards. They're counterbalancing each other. Give it a go. We want to maintain good posture, so we're not bending the body so much as just letting that swirl travel along the spine and up and down the legs into the feet. So we allow all of our joints, the whole body, to take part in this spiral. Now you may find it's easier and more comfortable to close your eyes so that you can concentrate on the feeling. Or you may find that it's much easier and more comfortable to keep your eyes open. Guess what? You can do either. Just be comfortable in yourself. breathe into your body and feel for that spiral. Heads and tail counterbalance. Don't forget to breathe. And don't worry if you hear clicking or crunching sounds in the neck or anywhere else. Just soften, release, and relax through the movement. If you really struggle with this, you can just go back to the belly and hips rotation. But give it a go. Good. Now let's very gently and slowly change direction. And I would recommend, again, 30 repetitions in each direction for this exercise. It's enough that you get into a rhythm and that it's long enough that the movement has potency. Again, head counterbalances tail. As the head goes forwards, the tail goes back. As your head goes right, your tail goes left, and so on. Let everything move. Everything is influenced by the spiral. This is a holistic practice. It's your whole body. So if you're struggling to balance it, if you're struggling to connect with the exercise, don't worry, it takes time. Again, this is a developmental exercise, not just a warm-up exercise. So every day, chip away at it, have a go at it. It is a holistic experience and it will help your coordination, your mind-body connection, and it will help to release any blockages and tension in your body. Just remember to breathe and relax through the movement. Well done, everyone. Let's come back into the center and gently, slowly float up to stand straight, releasing, relaxing down into your belly. And just for a moment, stand and feel into your body. You may experience tingling, you may experience a feeling of awakening or just an unusual awareness level within your body. You may feel any number of sensations after these warm-up exercises, and they're all good. If you feel dizzy or faint at any stage, don't panic. Sometimes you can nip a little nerve if you overextend the neck. So if that happens, just bring yourself back to straight, keep your eyes open and focus on a point ahead without blinking, keep breathing, and within a few moments the dizziness will pass. If dizziness continues, don't panic, lie down and breathe, pop your feet up, and again, very, very quickly it will pass. Listen to your body though. If you are feeling warning signs, don't ignore them, do something about them, and it won't be a problem. But any of these things that we experience, dizziness, cold sweats, a feeling of nausea, if any of that comes in any exercise practice, it's a warning sign. Your body is saying, hey, something isn't quite right. I feel under stress. So listen to those signs, and very quickly, if you respond and just rest and breathe, they will pass and you'll be okay again. I have in the past, I've made all the mistakes I think you could make. I've ignored these signs. I remember doing this exercise, for example. I had remembered that Master Chen said do 500 sets in warm-up, but I thought he meant of all the warm-up exercises. And so I was trying to do 500 of these circles. And after about 200 for my first attempt, I started to feel really quite nauseous. And I kept going because I thought, he said 500, I'm going to do this. And yeah, I felt a bit more unpleasant, and then thought, you know what, I'm not being sensible, I'm going to stop. And then, of course, I checked with my teacher and she went, no, 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 you do 500 of these. You only do 30 of the full body spirals. So too much of a good thing is still not the best. So be sensible, listen to your body, see how you feel. Good. Okay, so that's pretty much it for warm up. Those 3 exercises actually engage the entire body. So now we're going to do a little bit of stretching, and we'll do a little stand, and then we'll go into our form. So we're turning out one foot, we're going to kick forwards and step forwards, and that gives us about a 3/4 step forwards. So I'm not reaching or pushing forwards, I'm just extending and bringing the foot down to wherever it lands comfortably. Now we're going to do a little rowing the boat action, forwards and back. So notice the body remains upright. And this movement, even this movement, is coming from your center. You can imagine a little turbine in the center rolling underneath and up, back and down. And the arms mimic that movement. So in Tai Chi, what you see externally should be a reflection of what's happening internally in your center. We're rowing the boat forwards and back, rowing the boat and breathing. The body remains upright. It's the legs doing the work, being driven by your center. Of course, we're not trying to physically manipulate the muscles or the organs in the center of the body. We're simply pivoting from there. Good. Now that's warmed the muscles. Let's bring the weight back, keeping the front leg relatively straight. Bring the hands down to just above the knee to encourage the leg to stay straight, and direct your nose towards your toes. Now this is some stretch, so we want to be gentle and breathe. Let the breath help you to release and relax. Good. Now release and pull back those toes, taking hold, same side hand to foot, and gently encourage the toes back. If you can't reach comfortably, don't worry, just bring your hands back to your knee. So we breathe and relax, bracing the leg with the other hand, and relax the foot down, and up you come. Good. And we better do it on the other side. So we always look to create balance in Tai Chi. In general, if you do something on one side, do it on the other side as well. So 3/4 step forwards. Look, you have a little width between your feet, so you're not balancing on a tightrope. And the hips are square. Good. Let's feed forwards and back. Breathing into the movement. Listening, checking into your body, noticing any tension or discomfort, relaxing those shoulders, smile. Good. And let's feed the weight back, sliding the hands down, keeping the front leg straight. Direct your nose to your toes. and breathe. And release, pull back the front toes. Take hold, same side, hand as leg, and direct nose to toes. Keep breathing. Beautiful, well done. Relax the foot down, feeding the weight forwards, and up you come. I'm just going to adjust this little, yeah, that's it, my little calligraphy. It's catching the light. Well done. Okay, so give yourself a little shake out, have a little move around. Notice how you feel. That's pretty much what we tend to do for warm up in a Chen class officially. In this class, I tend to sometimes do other wee warm up exercises from various other places, always Tai Chi, but we'll leave it there for now. All right, so now we're going to move on and do a little bit of standing practice. Now, if you've come along to the Donegal classes or any of Master Chen classes, you'll realize what an emphasis everyone puts on standing practice. It really is vitally important in Tai Chi, and certainly in Chen style. If you want to do your best, if you want to do well, then you need to put a bit of time in standing. It's literally a foundation, and it helps you get your alignment, it helps you go into a deep state of relaxation, and it helps open your energy lines so that energy can flow. If you find it difficult to remember choreography, happy days. Standing practice, you need no choreography, nothing. There is no movement in it other than just breathing and letting your body functions do their thing. So actually, a lot of people find this the hardest part, but it does get easier, and it should be a pleasure. Think of yourself doing something really good for you. This is a real boost for your wellness. So do it with joy in your heart, and it will be a much more pleasant experience. We will only do a little stand now because we only have an hour, but I would encourage you to every day at least go through the process of setting up your stand and relaxing into your position for a few minutes. And then as the days go by, try a little bit longer. Try 5 minutes, try 10 minutes. 20 minutes is considered a short stand. 45 minutes is considered a decent length, and some diehards would stand for an hour, maybe 2 hours a day, and get great benefits from it. It really, you can see it in their practice. It really, what's the word, escalates your depth within your practice. So we begin in what's called Wuji. That's the feet together or nearly together. And Wuji means universal oneness or emptiness. So we're actually doing nothing in this position, quite literally nothing. We're not in Tai Chi stance, so the legs can be locked if you like, they can be straight. We just stand up nice and straight. We don't collapse, the top of the head floats up and the chin is slightly down and back. So this is your preparation for stand. You can close your eyes or gaze gently ahead. And in this stance, you simply listen. Listen to your body. Listen to the environment around you. Listen to here and now. Be present. Gently glide your awareness down through the body from the very top of the head, over the front, the back, and the sides. Gliding your awareness down through your system into the feet, into the floor. Letting your toes gently spread, letting your weight spread evenly across your feet. And again, listen. Listen to your breath. Let it be silent, but listen anyway. Listen to any sounds or vibrations of sound flowing through you. Now you can stay in Wuji as long as you like, but once you have a feeling of quiet, calm, and you no longer feel the urge to begin, that's a good sign, then you begin. So we're going to release in the belly and in the hips and in the knees. So we're softening and releasing down. Taking your weight into your right. I'm not going to mirror this. I'm also going into my right, and step open to your left. Put the foot down and transfer the weight. Now we want to have about shoulder width, as in the feet directly beneath the shoulders. And have a look down and just absolutely double check that your feet are as level as possible, that they're as symmetrical in position as possible, that they are parallel if possible. And then float your head back up, floating the top of the head up, the chin slightly down and back. So now your knees are in this slightly bent position. It's as if you are perched on a high stool. So you should feel your bottom is releasing down and the pelvis is naturally coming under you a little bit as it does as you're about to sit. So you can actually practice even this part. You can lengthen up and think of getting a chair underneath you and releasing belly, hips, and knees and sitting down. You'll notice the pelvis rotates slightly, but don't think of tucking it. Just let your tailbone release. And make sure that your upper body does not go back as your tail releases like a seesaw. So we want the tail to release, the lower back to release, and that naturally fills the small of your back. So now your back is more smooth and still straight. Good. Now let's feel into all 10 fingers. And we're going to begin to gently press them, feed them down towards the earth. But we keep the center of the palm, the laogong point, nice and soft. The cup of your hand stays soft. Keep breathing. We're going to float the hands a little bit forwards and feel for a connection between the two hands, a sort of energetic something or other, maybe a barrier or a force field, a something. Keep breathing, feeling into that sensation and keep the connection as you gently, slowly glide your hands up. The elbows are relaxed. Where do you glide your hands up to? Well, that depends on how you feel on the day. We want a strong, energetic connection. We want to feel a connection within the body. So sometimes you'll go to belly height. Sometimes you'll want to stay down low in that gunslinger position. And sometimes your hands will happily float up to shoulder height. You may even, if you're very lucky, You may even feel a sensation that the hands are expanding, blossoming out. If you get that urge, if your hands are being drawn out, happy days, go with it. And you can do your standing practice like this, or even wider, way out here. But I must tell you that in my lifetime, in all my practice, that's happened about 3 times for me, that my energy naturally just blossomed and drew my hands out. So don't force it. Find where is the most comfortable, the most energetic, the most connected, your best connection for today. It will vary each time you do it. Good. So let's check our posture. Top of the head floating up, chin slightly down and back, the shoulders releasing and opening to the sides, the elbows heavy and relaxed, the hands in line with the lower arms, so we're not bending at the wrists, the fingers gently curved, the thumbs gently curved, not sticking out. There's a U shape between thumb and first finger. Shoulders sitting over hips. Hips sitting over ankles. Weight evenly distributed across your feet. And we're breathing and relaxing into the feet. Letting all the cells in your body gently float and release. Calm down. And listen behind. Well done. That's all we're going to do in standing today. Let's gently release the arms down. And let's float up through the top of the head. Filling one side and close. And recover. Good. So I'm a little naughty there. Actually, after we brought the arms down, we should cover center. So when you're open, you bring your hands in to cover center. And gentlemen bring their left palm to the belly first. Ladies, bring the right palm to the belly first. You hug your elbows in and you breathe into that feeling of warmth. Have a go at it now, just covering your center and breathe. You'll notice, hopefully, that there's a lot of warmth. There's a lot of energy in your hands. Feel it flowing into your center. So we would normally take 9 breaths there, and then we would start our circulations. So you would want to go up to your right, across and down to your left, rubbing your tummy about the size of a CD, up to your right, across, down to the left. And you would do that 9 times. And then when you've done 9 times, you go in the opposite direction. Again, thinking of the energy inside the belly, swirling around with the hands, the energy in the hands working together. So you do 9 times in each direction, and then return to center for a further 9 breaths, feeling the warmth, feeling the breath flowing into your center. That's the full standing practice. Often in class here, we leave that bit out and we use the form itself to circulate the chi. But if you're just doing standing practice, make sure you circulate your energy afterwards in this way. Very good. Release, relax down, floating up through the top of the head, feeding the weight into your right and close left. Beautiful. And recover. Okay, so I've really taken my time with you this morning, but actually getting warm up under your belt, knowing how to do these exercises is Tai Chi in itself is really very, very useful. And you know, we tend to skim through it when we're training. One year we did spend a lot of time on warm up and it was a game changer. It was wonderful. So there's a lot that you can learn in Tai Chi just by doing warm up. It's not just to warm your body. It's to connect your mind and body to get the mechanism of moving center to influence the rest of your body. And it helps the energy to circulate. Standing practice is stamina, endurance, building your reservoir of chi, and then afterwards we circulate either with circles or indeed with the form. So let's have a look. We've got 1/4 of an hour to do the form, and we're going to do parts 1 and 2. Okay, so this is when you jump in with both feet and sink or swim. If it's overwhelming, don't worry. What you can do is just try following the leg work. That's absolutely perfect. Remember that the legs are more important than the upper body and arms, because the legs, the feet, are your foundation. So if your feet are in the right position, you have a good foundation. If your arms look right, but the legs are in the wrong position, it's all wrong. So if in doubt, leave out the arms, just use your arms to help you balance and try to position the feet. Or you could sit and just watch. That's very useful. You can learn a lot doing that, or just have a go at the whole thing. Just give it a go. Okay, folks, we're going to do the first 36 movements. We're going to go from the beginning to the end of part 2. Take it gently. Like me, you've probably got limited space, so we will have to keep adjusting. It's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast. So let's give it a go. Come over to the right-hand side of your space, but have a little bit of space on your right as well. I'm not going to talk you through too much because it just adds to what you have to think about. So just follow as best you can. We float up, chin slightly down and back, just like standing. Breathe and release, let go. Ready? We begin. Release belly, hips, knees. Opening to the left and transfer. Float up, breathe in. And relax down, breathing out. Let your breath flow, let your movement flow. Right hand makes a hook, draw it through. So we're turning now to the left. We're repeating that hammer punch. Our white crane opens its wings, stepping back right. That's your white crane. Oblique step. Relax to center. Embrace knee. Three steps forwards. And if you need more space, take it. We do another oblique step. Embrace knee. Two more steps forwards. And turning to the corner, prepare to punch. Check your posture. Relax into your center. Punch. Another hammer punch to the front. Pummeling the mortar. Punch through back. Prepare. Side punch. This is filling your weight forward. That was the first 18 steps. Very good. That's the end of part 1. Part 2. Turning center. Bring right fist under left elbow. Stepping back 5 times. Just keep sending the weight back. Left. Right. Keep going. Left. Right. And you may not have enough space. I don't have enough space. So adjust and left. Good. Another white crane opens its wings. So here we have a repeat. Oblique step. This time we keep the hands up and forwards for lightning flash through back. Up, chop the right hand down, hook the left hand behind. We stand up and step through, pierce the fingers forwards. Now turn, we feed the weight back, turning the left toes in, circle the ball up and over, lift the right and stamp to step to the diagonal, prepare to punch. So now we're facing the back corner, relaxing into center, find center, punch. 4 corners ward off. Now I don't have much space, I'm going to shift. So left hand scoops under, open right, feed the weight back a little bit, lift the toes and turn. Feeding the weight forwards and step to the side, flip the hands into apparent close up. So we're filling the back as we fill the hands forwards. Into single whip, pinch the right hand into hook, and draw it through. Look and step. Open, right toes twitching, relax to center. Onto cloud hands. So we go over the top and over the top and in. Now we want as much space on the right and the left as possible. 4 steps to the side. So we step and turn. Feet across and come in. Turn. Feet across and out. I don't have enough space. Maybe you don't. Let's adjust. So we step and open, pivot on the heel and scoop. Gather. Look forwards, step, turn. Let's feed the weight forwards. Open to the front. Turn. Left shoulder back. Bring the left foot back and pivot to the back to open. Yeah. And let's rest there, folks. And take a breath. Now, normally in the first repetition, I just do the form as is, but this whole section, it's pretty much having your face away from the screen most of the time. So I'm going to ask you to do a big feat of imagination. Just for the last 5 minutes, we're going to flip the room around. So now we're going to face, you're going to face me. And all of a sudden, what was the front of your room is now the back of your room. So it's as if I've run around you to be in front of you as we face the back of the room. Hopefully you understand that. It just means that you can see what we're doing rather than you spending the whole time doing that, trying to see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's continue the rest of part 2. This is the exciting bit. This is the bit that we've been working on recently. Lots of kicks and jumps and lovely stuff. Take it gently, please. Just give it a go. Okay, so we are in our high pat on horse position. So are we all with me? You're facing me, you're facing the screen, but now this is the back of the room. Ready? And gather, circle down, left hand and foot come across, and we sink down as the arms roll up. I call this the bottle opener, wine bottle opener position. We kick to the right. We're going to step with the right foot, bringing the arms across, turn towards what would be the front of the room, away from me. Do the same thing, sink down, the back foot comes up and kick. And bring the hands up, bring the foot behind you, across, and turn to face me. Bring the left hand underneath, bring hands into fists. We gather and lift, turn the palms, look left and kick to the side. We step down left, we step right, and we step left. 3 steps. Let's turn slightly to the right and make fists. So this is as if you've got a big steering wheel. Now we're going to do planting flowers or punch the earth. Left hand down to go up, right hand up to go down. We punch down towards the earth. Notice the body is more diagonally forwards than normal. Feed the weight back, left hand down the line of the trousers. Untwist, feeding it into your left and sweep the right foot round, bringing the arms up and over as you pivot and relax down into what we call monkey holds peach position. So the hands are in fists. Good, now this is your jump kick. We're going to step it. We release and open the hands. Step right and swing your left leg up. Good, we're going to step left and make contact this time. This is the real kick. Step down, and step back. Your hands are in T-shaped position. We feed the weight back, flip the hands, left palm facing out, and step back the way you came for protect the heart punch. So we feed to the left. We bend the right leg, right hand down, turning center, bring the hands into fists, and turning inwards to bring fist under elbow. Protect the heart punch. Good, release. Again, T-shaped position, fill the back foot. And we're back. Cross hands and step, a little bounce. Turning towards what would be the front of the room, right shoulder back. Push your hands out as you bring the leg up and in. Kick and turn to face me. Hands are crossed. We step to the side, gathering. Hands stay open this time, lift right. Look right, turn palms and kick. Toy soldier position. Quarter turn. And three-way punch, turning center. Good. Cross hands, stamp to the corner. Step to the side. Prepare. And punch. Good. And rest. Well done. End of part 2. Now, maybe we made a bit of a meal of that, didn't we? It's like stop and start and move and turn and da da da. But you did very well. If this is your first experience of doing Zoom and Tai Chi, I think you have done very well indeed. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not quite the same as being in a face-to-face environment. I can't come in and do hands-on correction, but I believe it can really help you and we can clarify things. So in future, we're out of time now, but don't be afraid to ask questions. Everyone can learn and it can make us all think about our movements in a clearer way. So I hope you have enjoyed today's class. I will share the recording and I will put another link to Master Chen practicing the form so that you can have a wee watch of the best doing it. So let's just take a moment, please, to warm down. Good practice today. I'd love you to have a wee play and practice with the video. You don't have to do the full hour each time. Doing the warm-ups can really benefit you generally in health, raise the fitness, raise the body's understanding of Tai Chi movement. And of course, you can do the whole video or just watch it through and see if you can marry together what you know of Tai Chi with watching it on a screen. Good, let's go down to the legs, cup your hands a wee bit. Give everything that was working a bit of love, bit of attention, lower legs, ankles and feet. If you have time, please, I would encourage you to take 10 minutes to go for a wee walk now, get some fresh air and just slowly calm your system down. That's a good warm down and it helps prevent stiffness and shortens recovery time very quickly. Let's shake out, please, and have a nice hot drink as well. Let's do a few heel taps. And stand. Check posture one more time. Breathe and feel into the energy flowing through your body. Tingling, bubbling. Oh, isn't that lovely? Let's guide it to center, hugging the elbows in. Breathing into your belly. Feel your energy is stronger. Well done. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. And for those who couldn't make it, thanks for watching the video. Let's salute Xue Sang Hao. Thank you very much indeed. And I look forward to seeing you next time.